So part two of the false narrative of this shooting and all these events that they give us. So the false right narrative where they want us to go is this person was evil. This person was a monster, right? Using all these dividing polar opposite terms, right? The cops were heroes and the person shooter was a monster. Guys, this is exactly the way they want us to think. This is how they push us into their agendas. By using words like monster, where there's no room for like, that person was perhaps a sick individual, it's a horrible tragedy. No, don't say that. Call him a monster, right? Because then you just get locked into this brain. And then anyone who says like anything other than that, like, you know, demonizing the shooter, oh, you must be like bad. You must, I can't trust you, right? Just like the masks and the shots and all that, like they did. Like, oh, if you don't wear a mask, you know, I need, you know what I mean? And like, that's how they're going to get you to like persecute other people. Okay. So, and the cops being heroes, that's the right narrative. The cops were not heroes. They were doing their job. They were cops and they killed somebody. Is that a wonderful thing that they killed somebody? It's not. It's a horrible situation. And I'm talking about if it happened the way it was reported, which I don't believe it did. I believe the whole narrative was false. I'm not going to get into that, but I believe these things are planned. And I don't believe the person who they say did it. Right? And there's stuff you can look into that. But even taking it at face value, if it was what they're saying, that's the false narrative that they want us to go with. The cops are somehow heroes and the person was a monster. And then that's actually getting us into like putting trans people into the idea of monster. And all the right-wing medias are saying, oh, there's been 3 shootings where there's trans people. What is your point? Do you want to demonize trans people? Do you see what I'm saying? That's where they're going with this. And then I talk to people who can't think, right? They have like a narrow thinking. These issues are nuanced. You have to think like a nuanced thinker. That's why people have trouble when they talk to me. And it's funny because like people know my views. They know I'm not pro-trans. I'm not a leftist in any way, shape, or form, right? But when I talk about this, then they go, oh, you must be pro-trans. Oh, it sounds like you're anti-cop. I'm not anti-cop. I'm saying they did their job. Stop puffing them up. That what I'm telling you is that's the narrative. That they want you to think that way, to go for their laws that they're going to pass that are going to eventually enslave you. Look at the Patriot Act. Patriot Act was by a right-wing guy. It was by George Bush. And it was in the name of freedom. Freedom for America. Fight the terrorists. And guess what? You're locked down. We're spying on you, buddy. That's what the right wing does. Just like Trump with Operation Warp Speed. It's what we're about to see. So, yes, please make laws against trans people. Please, you know, save us from the very enemies that you're creating, that you're telling us we need to be afraid of. Right now, this is the 3rd person who was trans who shot up a school. We need to pray for people and get out of the left-right paradigm. Bless you guys in the name of Yeshua.